Good morning, my name is Alan, and first of all I want to thank the community church for coming along and helping us. It's a great blessing what God is doing here, and we're hoping to have you guys coming often, but next time bring more preachers, because the biggest need in Honduras is the gospel. Well, you guys got us going with the roof and lots of help here. But the biggest need is the gospel, and we're going to be needing a lot of your prayers throughout, all our ministry here.
What did it feel like to go down and not only be able to make a difference in someone else's life, but that unexpected part of receiving more than you gave?
And down there I found a sense of purpose. And what was so crazy about it is that I think in our society we struggle to find a sense of purpose in our vocations here, but down there it just seemed almost effortless to have a purpose.
I remember when Daniel come up and he was talking about the local area, she broke her arm. And my first thought was, well, we're going to get together and we're going to pray. We're going to pray that her mom gets the money for her to heal, or that God's just going to miraculously heal her. And that's just our first thought. We're just going to pray and let God take care of it. But instead, we elevated that and we took it into, different hands. And God put us here for a reason. And it wasn't to bring home souvenirs. It was to make a difference. And now she will not grow up with her arm deformed, because God appointed us at a certain point at a certain time.
Amen.
I saw him move when the little girl broke her arm at VBS, and Pastor Allen brought us all together to say that she needed surgery and it would cost $1,000, and we all gave, and she got to have the surgery so she could have her arm fixed.
I'm still amazed at the power of God's love. And I think He used all of us as vessels to love those people down there. And those children, when they would meet us at the gate. And do you remember Saturday morning when we pulled up in the vans to the orphanage? And when we opened the doors, they didn't even wait for us to get out of the van. They came into the van to hug us. And it just to see the power of His love, was wonderful.
Amen. But we've come back a good bit transformed. And Pastor, you said it well, and it just rings so strong in my heart. You asked for, and I believe everybody in this room asked for, God, break our heart for what breaks yours. And our hearts were broken in many different times. And then again, God's power and love showed us just rallying together and making things happen in His name. And that's transformation is what we all should continue to seek. And it's just awesome to be part of that. I think I can take that back and tell people we've seen changed lives. And just amongst our groups, and the ripple effect for everyone else that was there.
The blessing we got was huge. And then the blessing that those two people got were huge. But you said the words on ripple effect. How we poured that love, our love, into them as a group, as a church, as a body. And those things we've just talked about, Anna's house and the broken arm and the children, even though it's just a few things, it's way bigger than that. The ripple effect will take off, and God's love was shown and will continue to grow. And I'm excited about that.
It was wonderful to be able to give. And in that process of giving, we accidentally received. And we understood it meant to say. When Jesus said it's more blessed to give than to receive, we understand why. We may not have came away with a house or a vacation memory. We came away with some kingdom that's going to carry in many ways for generations beyond.
To be totally honest, I can't say when I saw God move the most, because there was no low point to this trip. I totally felt His presence every single day through every single activity, and that in itself was a tremendous blessing.
That church that we worked on was built with money that was raised because people decided to drink a cup of coffee. And Anna's house was purchased, the land and the house was purchased because people decided to drink a cup of coffee. And, we're in the United States and we're like, well, what can $3 do? What can $4 do? And what can a $10 bag of coffee do? $10 bag of coffee can pay a man a very, very good wage for a day down in Honduras.
And what Mark has done with the seminary out there and the Hope Coffee Project, I mean, to literally be able to see this idea of drinking coffee and transforming lives, it's not a marketing cliche. It is literal. And to know that right now Mark is building another roof, or he's laying the foundation in another home, or he's developing another pastor's church, these are things that, had I not witnessed it with my own eyes, I would have just said, there's no way that's possible.
This started out as a donated piece of land in a cornfield, and it's becoming a home. These trenches represent some labors of love that these guys and ladies have been digging through some clay that probably is more like steel in Texas. But as these foundations are being dug out of this dirt and the stones being relaid, I believe that we see a picture of what God does when He begins to relay a foundation in our lives. And as this foundation gets to be strong and secure and ready to have a home upon it, it's our prayer that Anna and her family's lives begin to be strong and built on a solid foundation of Jesus Christ.
We're really excited about what God's going to do with Anna and her family. This is a new beginning for them, a new change of direction, and it's definitely a God-initiated thing. And we're excited that God's using us and coffee and all kind of things to come together to do this wonderful